We're
Yeah.
here.
I
Last
know.
movie. It's
Here it
crazy.
is.
Can I just
It is
say,
crazy.
I'm gonna ask you how you are, of course, but I have
Yeah.
to make the readers aware, and by readers I mean the listeners, that I had not seen this movie
Yes,
since
tell
the
the
night it
girls.
came out
Which was in what was it,
2011.
2011? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I have not seen this movie for 14 years. And the only other time I'd ever seen this movie, I basically cried from the beginning to the end.
Same. Who did you go with?
I
Your
did
mom?
not cry this time.
Yeah, I cried at specific moments.
I got emotional at specific parts, but I did not cry.
Yeah.
I went with my mother and my ex-boyfriend at the time.
Yeah.
Or my current boyfriend at the time, I should say. My current,
Yeah.
now he's my,
He's
I'm
my
not with him anymore.
ex-boyfriend. my trash ex-boyfriend. I just cried the whole time, and I'm sure he was like into the movie, but like he was not as emotionally connected to the text as I was. So he was
Sure.
probably just like, wow, she's crying a lot. It's like,
is she gonna be okay?
yeah, this otherworldly experience for me, an out-of-body experience watching that film. But yeah, I remember it was actually like, I don't know if this was how it was for you, Adam, like, because I didn't know how I would react. So then when I ended up crying literally through the whole thing, I was actually like really surprised because I was like, oh, I thought like there would be some specific moments that would make me cry. But that was, I think, the first time in my life where like I just had such a emotional connection to it that it was just like almost like I was like grieving the end of the journey as the journey was happening.
It felt like I was grieving the end of childhood. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Because it was really like, oh, okay, this is really going to make it feel like it's finally over for us. Because it was kind of like that one last thing that we had of that whole like Harry Potter journey. But yeah, I just remember being so overwhelmed and I would be like crying but laughing when it was like a funny part, but like then I would be like
yes, but this movie there are like maybe 4 funny parts in the whole, like it is this movie is dreary, honey. It is dark.
Do you know what I will say though? The aesthetic of what I was kind of imagining wasn't as bad in this film. Not that the aesthetic is bad, but the very specific like LUT or color correcting like overlay, whatever they have. Yeah, color correction. Like the specific preferred color correction for the film. I was like, I wasn't as taken out by it as I was in like even the last movie and the one before that. I think Half-Blood Prince actually might be the worst.
I think that
color correcting.
I wasn't taken out necessarily, but I did clock the color correction because there are points where they're like, there's a lot of scenes in this movie on this big staircase that we've never seen before, by the way. I do need to point that out. It's like now there's like this 7-story staircase that goes from like Dumbledore's office straight down to like the front door all of a sudden out of nowhere for the first time in these movies. But it's really
ever
weird.
Seen that. We had a staircase in Goblet of Fire, but it certainly was not that staircase. Like when Hermione comes down.
Yes. And there are times, because everything is like, they're surrounded by these like stone columns and da-da-da. There are moments in those scenes specifically, and I think also when they come in, there's the scene in the Room of Requirement when they first come back to Hogwarts. Yeah. Where it is like it is practically grayscale. Like there's such devoid of color. You're like, oh my God, it's so crazy. But no, I was not as bothered by it in this movie as
the thing that I noticed the most actually was there was like a very specific type of film grain that I didn't dislike because I love a film grain, but I was like there were a couple moments where I was like, oh, this is like I'm really seeing like over their faces where I was like I could actively see the grain. But maybe
Yeah.
that was something about my specific monitor that it showed up on, because it was in the second half. Because I like did my half. I was telling Adam, like, it took me way longer than I thought to do the notes on this because I kept having to pause and rewind. And then like watched my half, stopped, like went and showered and stuff, and then came up here and like finished the second half of it that you would have been taking notes on. And that was when I noticed it. So I wonder if it was because it was on this monitor, but it was just, yeah, very interesting. I always think about that thing that I said about the wigs, that like the wigs look so much darker.
I feel like I was looking for Emma's blonde hair this time. I was like, is Hermione blonde? I just kept looking for it. And you obviously can't tell because the movie is so dark. There's only at the end when they're on that like stone bridge that I was like,
yeah, in the sun. Yeah. Let me see. Is it there? There are some things, I think we've said stuff like this before. I can't remember if we were referencing this specific movie or like the later movies in general, but like there are some things that I feel like they did fix in this film that I was like, that's a better choice. Yeah.
Mama,
like,
when we get to my part, we're going to talk about Harry breaking the fucking Elder Wand. Good for him.
Yeah, that snap. Oh my God. And like, what was that? Do you see? It literally looked like magic came out.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Great.
Wow. Yeah. I was like, I love that.
But also, we'll talk about the ending when we get to next week too. But the like, I do not know how people who watched the movies only understood how this movie ended. Like,
I know.
I barely understand it from the books, and this gives you even less.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh.
We've literally done an entire podcast specifically about like these books going chapter by chapter, and we're still like, jury's out on, you know, what happened there at the end.
Yeah.
To be determined. We'll figure out it in time.
There are definitely artistic liberties taken, obviously, with the movies. We've always discussed those.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure we'll discuss them again. There's some things that they change that I do like, that I do think, or just are smart in a storytelling perspective for the medium, that it's like, well, we have to get through this. Yeah. And then there are things where I was like, huh?
What you doing there, girl?
Are you
what
sure?
Are we doing here?
Here's my hot take. Here's what I think we should do.
Steve. It is Steve, the same screenwriter from the very beginning. He goes all the way to the end. Yeah. What were you gonna say? Sorry?
Here's what I think we should do. All right. I think we should skip how are we doing, and then save that for the end, the like second half of the movie, because we're gonna come back from 5 minutes after finishing the. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Mm-hmm.
And then we can save it as a last and a look forward to like what we're looking forward to in 2026, stuff like that. So we can get right into it. But here's my hot take on this movie. I have to imagine that the CGI people had no time, because there is some wonky
There are
CGI.
some moments.
In a way, like, no, I don't think any of the flying in this movie looks good. And it's weird because I think like even in the first movie, the flying looks really, especially for the time, like looks really good. I think I
don't think I would agree with that for the very first movie. The flying, I think for the
first yeah, I guess maybe not. It doesn't look great, but I feel like for what they were trying to do at that moment when they were making it, I think it looks pretty good. This movie, for the budget that it had and the expectation it had, when the three of them round on those broomsticks in the room of requirement, it looks like they like go through a wall. Like it's like the weirdest thing I've ever, like the camera doesn't match their move. It's so straight. Like that, and like flying on the dragon, I think looks really bad. Like they keep like moving on the dragon itself. Like I was like, the CGI people had to have no time on this movie. None.
Or a limited like budget.
Because this came out like 7 months after part one. Like, because part one was like November or whatever. And then this was like June or July, right? Of the next year.
Wow, really? 7? Yeah.
Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows.
I mean, it
Harry
would
Potter and the
be, but
Deathly
that's I'm like,
Hallows,
was it June or was it July?
the movie adaptations. So
Adaptations.
part one comes out November 19th, 2010.
Okay.
And then part two, here we go. Part two comes out July 15th, 2011. Yeah. So like 7
July
months later.
15th. Wow. Cray. Well,
And I think
technically 8 because November is 6 months from May.
Oh, okay.
So just because I know that because that's my half birthday. November 18th.
But there is
still,
way
not
more
even a year.
CGI that you have to do in this movie than in part one. Part one has
there's
so much more like just
this is just there's so much happening. And
background
I did
CGI more than action.
Yeah,
CGI.
I did wonder if this was like a Avatar: The Last Airbender situation where like they filmed season 2 and season 3 in the same setting, like Wicked, how they did it all just all filmed. Is that what they did for Deathly Hallows?
It was filmed back to back.
Yeah, okay.
Part one was filmed from February 2009. I'm sorry. It was filmed back to back with the first movie, taking place from February 2009 all the way through June 2010. And then reshoots for the epilogue scene taking place in December of 2010. So after part one had already come out.
Okay.
That's a long shoot. February 2009 to June 2010.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like a year and a half, basically.
Long. Jesus.
Oh my God. The amount of people that are asking, why did Deathly Hallows come out in 2 parts? Because that's just what everyone was doing at that time, girl. The final movie was always in 2 parts. Twilight, Harry Potter, The Hunger Games. Everyone was just doing that. I think, didn't The Hobbit end up doing that as well? No.
Isn't this? I think this is the first one, though, that does it.
Yeah, it started with Harry Potter, but it was just the thing.
Yeah, because Breaking Dawn
need to do that.
Breaking Dawn came out. Breaking Dawn Part 1 came out in November of 2011.
It was just the thing. At that time, that's what they were doing.
Hunger Games.
But like the obvious answer is like they just wanted to have like try to make a profit off of both movies because they knew they had the audience for it.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't think, I already think there are like portions of this movie that are like truncated that feel like we're like rushing through it. And I can't imagine trying to fit all of book 7 into one. The amount you would have to cut.
No.
But the amount that is imperative to, they would have to cut a Horcrux at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, think about like book 5 famously is the biggest book. And like, I think the 5th film, you kind of feel that it's like, oh, they really just, I mean, there's so much stuff in that it's just like kind of glossed over, rushed through.
There's
like,
a lot of montages, yeah.
It's just like there's so much that they can't even really touch on that they're like, we just can't even get into that. We just have to leave that alone completely. I don't know that there isn't any no. We do meet Creature in 5 because we have to, but I was like, just there was a lot of stuff with that just they were like, we're not even gonna try.
No house elves in this movie. They don't get to come out of the kitchens in this one.
Yeah, no, they couldn't add them. They couldn't afford the CGI.
There were no centaurs.
They were like,
poor Firenze.
Yeah, they were like, sorry, you've been cut. But yeah, we'll just get right into it.
Okay, Ari, this week.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
We watched Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1.
Yeah.
What happens in this film?
No, Part 2. Part 2, Part 1.
Part 2, I'm sorry. Part 2,
Part
this
1.
is our Part 1.
Yeah.
Ari, what happens in this film?
Okay, so in my portion, Harry returns to Oh, well, no, I shouldn't start with that because there's a whole bit at the beginning. They break into Gringotts. return to Hogwarts, and destroy 2 of the Horcruxes in my half. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the battle commences. The battle of Hogwarts commences.
The battle begins.
The battle begins. So right at the beginning of this film, we get a very quick reminder that Voldy has the Elder Wand now. So it's just like quick little Voldy montage.
The last scene of the last movie again.
Oh, do you know what? I forgot that maybe I'll do it for the final one. I want to get my wand out because I have a wand. And I was like, I want to have it out for the last episode, but I'll do that for yours. Do you have a wand?
I think I got rid of it.
You were like, I don't need this. Get a light stick. Mine's over or under there. Yeah.
If I do have it, I could not tell you right now where it is.
Where it is. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, he's basically like, we get these like, literally to me, it literally felt like a glamour shot. Like,
ooh.
Like that's what he was. Yeah, that's what he was giving. And then we get pretty much right into it. So I'm going to talk a lot about the composer of this film. Adam, you'll be very proud of me. I'm going to talk a lot in general. What else is new, y'all? You've been here for a while. This is my whole gig. Alexander Desplat. Desplat.
I don't know how to say his
pronounce
last name.
it. I looked it up. It's Desplat.
Oh, Desplat?
Yeah, Desplat.
Great.
And I was like, made a note to talk about him, but I looked up how to pronounce his name because I was like, I actually don't. I've always just said Desplat, but I was like, I know that's wrong because he's French.
Desplat.
So I was like, Desplat. Desplat. So yes, Alexander is an incredible composer. He just composed the score for Frankenstein, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. If you look up his IMDb, the amount of things he has written the score for. He did the Little Women score that wasn't too long ago. Iconic. Randomly, like a lot of Fantastic Mr. Fox. A lot of the films that I always forget his name.
Wes Anderson does. And I always feel bad when I forget his name because I genuinely do like Wes Anderson's style. What else did he do? Yeah, a ton of Wes Anderson films. He did, just going through some of the films right now. The Imitation Game, Godzilla, Jurassic World Rebirth was another recent one. Where were some of the other ones that I saw that I was like, The Queen, he did the score for that. Zero Dark 30, Rise of the Guardians. There's like just a ton. It's like the variety of different scores that he has made. The Tree of Life, The King's Speech. I think that's what he won for. And also Twilight Saga, New Moon. Great. He goes high and low because there's also Secret Life of Pets I'm seeing.
Yeah, Secret Life of Pets is on there. Yeah.
Yeah, so he does the full gamut. He's also done, it looks like all of George Clooney's movies that he's directed. He
doesn't surprise me. But yeah, he's incredible. There actually is on YouTube. There's I don't know if you would call it like a docu short maybe like of him talking about Frankenstein and his experience, and it's just like him. What?
Fascinating. No.
Oh, him talking about it. Yeah. I love how when you make a face like that, I'm like, oh, he can't be making that face at me. He must be reading something interesting. It's probably not good that I think that about myself. But yeah, he's just an incredible man, and getting to hear him talk about music and how it is like I think he really creates from a space of wanting people to connect deeply to his music in an emotional way. And I feel like you can really tell when, like, specifically this score, I have listened to multiple songs from this score years and years after seeing this film, like often. And this first theme that we hear, which is called Lily's theme, for those that don't know, when we get this shot of Snape standing in the archway of the Hogwarts Castle archway, and he's like looking down at the students, what's playing is Lily's theme. And yeah, this specific song I'm obsessed with. And basically when we're hearing Lily's theme play, we see the Dementors surrounding Hogwarts. Snape is looking down at the students that are very regimentally being walked into school. It's almost like this like military academy vibe. Mm-hmm. And then we get Harry Potter, the opening title text for the final time. I wish. Well, I don't wish, because I love what it is. It's like da 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 da. So it literally is. He's taken essentially, like Michael would say, like the sequence of notes or something like that. Mm-hmm. But he's added his own spin on it. So it is the Harry Potter theme, but he's like elongated it. I don't know. He's done. I'm not a musician, so I don't know the proper terms. I wish I did, because I would probably be explaining it a lot better. But it's gorgeous. So this is one of this, and then it's like, I think, is it Dragonflight? Is the other one that like I still listen to when like the dragon escapes. Like he's just an incredible composer. It's just beautiful. And I do think like a lot, like Little Women, I didn't know that was him, but like I remember thinking like, oh, I've like whenever I'd watch Little Women, it's so emotional. And it's like, yeah, because his music, like, and the acting, of course, but it's like the music just really gives it he had such a specific emotive style of composing. So then after we get the opening title text, we are taken back to, it auto-corrected it, so it says Bobby's grave. Excuse me, Dobby. We are taken back to Dobby's grave, and Harry is looking in the mirror shard where we see what looks like Albus's eyes reflecting back at him briefly. But like, here we go. This is, first off, if you haven't read these books, you must be like, what is this shit? Because like it still hasn't been explained since part 1. So you're still just like, okay, what is that? Are
we talking about the mirror?
Yes. Where did it come from? Like it ends up being said in this film, but I'm like, but we knew Sirius, and the mirror was never presented to us when Sirius was alive.
No.
So if you watched all the films but didn't read the books, you would still be like, huh? Yeah. Which I think is really, I find that very frustrating, because I'm like, at least just keep it within the world of the films that you, as a franchise, film franchise? Like a franchise has presented for the audience, please. It's the same thing of like, there's a couple of like consistency things in this that bug me as well. That I probably won't mention until like this next episode when Adam takes over recapping, but it just is that, like,
I do think it will be helpful if you're doing like from the television show's perspective that's coming out. Yeah, that will be helpful in terms of there's one showrunner the whole time.
Yes,
and there's like a show Bible. And it's going to be very consistent, as opposed to, obviously, this film series started before the films were the books were finished.
Yep.
And
traded
went through
around
a bunch of different traded directors, but also traded like artistic visions. Like, there's definitely a through line through the series for sure. Like,
they
don't stray too far from the path. Like, it's not like all of a sudden now we're in Whoville all of a sudden, but there is for sure variation between films that can feel like you're like, oh.
Yeah, just like how it departs so much from the original concept of something like Sirius and the Fire. How it was like he was literally the coals in one fire, and then like the very next episode, it's like the flame or whatever. No, it was the reverse. No, it's in 4 he's the coals, and then or the embers of the wood, and then in 5 he's like in the flames.
Fire. Yeah.
Which I was like, I liked it in the flames better, but I would have preferred you kept him in the embers, actually, just for consistency's sake. And honestly, the one that I am the most forgiving is, in a weird way, because I always talk about how it took me out so much between 2 and 3. How like 3, he just was like, oh, we're just going to completely do something else. But I loved like movie 3 as a standalone film. Like I really like his artistic choices and stuff like that. But then I'm like, guys, at least stick with it then. Like I just am like, the fact that it changes so much. But I think you're right that is just the reality of like they would have had like different designers and then they would have just been like, okay, we'll just do something different this time around. But as a viewer, I'm just like, why are you doing that? Like it just drives me nuts. So anyway, so then we end up inside Shell Cottage with Ron and Hermione, and then Luna comes into frame and she's talking about like how beautiful it is there. And we can see Harry is standing in the doorway leading to outside behind her, kind of contemplating what he's going to do next. He's not like involved in anyone's conversations inside. He's kind of off on his own. And then Bill and Fleur are in the kitchen, and Bill explains to Luna that this was apparently their aunt's house. They used to come here as kids, but now they use it as a safe house for the Order. And then, did this feel weird to you, Adam? This felt like a little out of place to me. Like, I understand Luna as this character. I understand she's like the weirdo or whatever. But it was just, she was like, some people believe these keep evil away, but they're wrong. And I was just like, okay, thank you. I was like, all right. I think like it was almost like what they were trying to do didn't land for me. Maybe that was just me though. For some reason, I was like, I think we could have done something more impactful with that there.
I think okay. How do I say this kindly?
Using Luna to like disarm people, or
the girl who plays Luna.
Yeah.
Miss Girl. Whatever
Ivana.
Her name is.
Yeah. Ivana.
Yes, Lynch. Yeah. She, I think, is best used when Luna is weird for a punchline's sake. Or like for a comedic effect.
But when it's like
there's like heft to it.
Yeah.
It's a little like
it doesn't land.
It doesn't land.
It didn't land for me. I was like, I don't know what y'all were trying to do with that line, but okay. Are you just basically saying like evil's gonna get us no matter what? Cool. Like I was just like, okay. So then Harry asks if he can go in and speak to Grip Hook. And then
he says the goblin.
I need to speak to that goblin. So the trio goes into the room. They ask him, well, Harry specifically asks. There's a lot of Harry talking and Ron and Hermione just in the scene because the trio is also in there, especially in the beginning. That made me laugh. So they go into the room. Harry asks how he's doing, and his response is alive. And then Harry's like, you probably won't remember this. And then Griphook cuts him off and he's like, I was the one that took you into your vault the first time that you came to Gringotts. Yeah, of course I remember. Like, you're famous even with goblins. And Harry's like, oh, okay, cool. Then he mentions, of course, burying the elf, that he's a very unusual wizard. This is like pretty close to what happens in the book, basically. They immediately start discussing the sword, how there's an identical sword in Bellatrix's vault that like only goblins would recognize, because he's like, yeah, it's a very convincing fake. And then we find out that Snape was the one that put this fake sword into Bellatrix's vault.
Yes, this is a huge change.
Yeah. This is the first like really big change. There's a couple.
Yeah.
Another one is about to happen when we go talk to Ollivander.
Oh,
and I was like,
yes.
Oh, yeah. I was like, oh,
yeah.
Okay. So Snape put it in there. And then Griphook kind of alludes to the fact that there are more interesting things in Bellatrix's vault.
So do you think Warwick got paid like for
twice?
Do you think?
I doubt. I actually thought,
or it's
I
just
thought
like
about
combined.
This. I thought about this. He technically he could have negotiated. I don't know, though. I have a feeling that was a part of the reason why they did just use him for both of the roles. Like they were just like, and then you can just play both because then they're only having to pay one person. Because I'm assuming that he would have been just given a chunk of money rather than like a daily rate. That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah, and it's not like he plays all the goblins. It's not like a Johnny Depp Willy Wonka where it's like one actor
one
playing,
Oompa
like
Loompa
CGI playing. Yeah.
So then they start talking about Gringotts and how to break in. Grip Hook asks for the sword as payment, and then we don't hear Harry confirm or deny yet. They just end up leaving the room.
Yeah.
To discuss more on the stairs. So then they start talking about the Horcrux being in her mind. He's like, do you think there's a Horcrux in the vault? And he's like, yeah, because of the way that she reacted. She thought we'd been in there and she was so terrified that we took something else. So she basically gave herself away.
The only thing that sucks about the dialogue in this movie, and I don't want to say sucks as a pejorative, obviously. That is a kind of a bummer, is like, because it has so much to do in terms of getting through the amount of plot it has to get through and also help explain to the audience.
Yeah.
And there's so little that can just be visually explained. Like they do have to rely on like explaining things to the audience.
Right.
There's such a lack of subtlety in the dialogue in this film. Like there's nobody has subtext in this movie whatsoever.
No,
every line is their first thought that they're saying.
So direct, yeah. So direct, yeah. Welcome to what it's like to be me. I'm like, this is the thought in my head. I'm just gonna literally say it out loud directly as I heard it in my head.
But also, like, I don't want to say, like, I don't blame this adapter. Like,
oh no, oh my gosh, what a task to undertake. Like,
ugh,
yeah,
this
I can't
would be
imagine.
my worst nightmare to have to adapt this book into a movie.
Oh, yeah,
because there's a lot of it that is not. It is not a cinematic book in the way like book 4 is so cinematic.
Yeah.
Like it feels like you're reading, you can like see it while you're reading it.
And famously, the 4th film was like our least favorite film because we were just like, what are we doing? What is happening?
Right. Well, in this one too, like, I mean, even if you think about the whole book is like so much of it is camping. So much of it is them being like annoyed with each other. Yeah. And then in this back like half bickering. Of this, like, there's no final battle between. There is a battle that takes place, and I do think a lot of that is done really well. But the final battle between Harry and Voldemort, the movie has to do something with, because they cast one spell at each other and then it's over in the book.
Yeah.
So like it doesn't make sense in the movie when you really think about it, because the whole bit is like, your wand listens to me. Why was it not listening to me for most of it until? You know, but whatever. Yeah,
there's a couple of different things that I was like, really, that was the choice that you made. And then there's other stuff that I really like. So yeah, I'm sure it was not an easy feat to decide by any means. But anyway, but that's why we're here. We're here to talk about it. So they go in to see Ollivander. Fleur gives him a heads up that he is very weak. And I'm so glad they took out this bullshit from the book where like Bill steps in to be like, no, let him go to, like, do you know, we remember when we talked about that? Mm-hmm. So they just took it out and it's just Fleur, and then they like kind of take a second after she said that and go right in. Fleur.
And do you think she's pregnant with Victoire at this point, or what do you think?
I wasn't thinking about Victoire at all. Not at all. So Harry asks Ollivander to look at Bella's wand. This actor is so good. He is so like, the way that he'll take like a like when he was feeling Bellatrix's wand, and then there's like a moment where he's like, Bella, it's Bellatrix Lestrange's wand. Like I just believe, I'm like, you are Ollivander. I've never seen him, I don't think, in anything else. I know for a fact he voices Aragorn in the cartoon version of Lord of the Rings, the first.
Oh, wow.
I know he voices him because we looked that up one time while we were watching it. But I've never seen him, I don't think, in anything else. This is the only thing I've seen him in terms of, if I saw him in something else, I didn't know it was him. And he is so good is Ollivander. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So then he also examines Draco's wand, and he says this wand, or this was the wand of Draco Malfoy. But since Harry won it from him, he senses its allegiance has changed. So there's that right away. And then we have a whole little bit where he talks about Harry's like, you talk about wands as if they have feelings and if they, as if they can think for themselves. And then he's like, yes, those of us who have studied wand lore, we are very aware that the wand chooses the wizard. And so again, I was like, take that, Universal Studios, little French wand maker area, whatever the hell that's called.
Fuck you.
What are you guys doing? AKA, she who must not be named. What are you doing?
I know. They're trying to sell more wands.
Basically, yeah. So then Ollivander just completely is in the loop on what the Hallows are. Hallows, sorry, I always say Hallows. The Hallows. He goes fully into the Hallows lore. He's like, oh yeah, I know all about him. Let's get into it. And then after he's talking about it, which this is a huge change from the book. Harry tries to ask him about the Hallows, and he's like, huh?
He only has heard of the Elder Wand, right? In the book.
Only the wand.
Yeah. But now he's heard, he knows all of them.
Different.
And it's weird too because, well, it's not weird. They explained the Hallows in the last movie, but you also, as a filmmaker, shouldn't necessarily believe that like every single person has seen or remembers from the last film.
Yeah.
So it is like a reiteration of what is happening.
Yeah. But yeah,
but again, the invisibility cloak is barely used in this movie.
Oh my, Adam, they don't even use it when they apparate into Hogsmeade. And I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
It's crazy.
So yeah, first Ollivander kind of, even though he knows all about the Hallows, he's kind of like, oh, I wouldn't put that much stock in an old wives' tale. And then Harry's like, I know you're lying. I know you're lying because you told him where he could find one. And then Ollivander's like a little bit embarrassed, but he's like, well, he did torture me. So I wasn't, I didn't give it up like willingly, basically, is what he's trying to say. But he's like, there's no telling if he'll actually be able to find it. Like, we don't know. And then Harry's like, no, he has. He's found it, actually. And then on their way out, Ollivander's like, if he has found it and he's like after you, which we know he is, I'm afraid you don't really stand a chance. And then Harry says, well, I guess I'll just have to kill him before he finds me. And then they leave him to rest. And then the next bit is just Hermione holding up Bellatrix's hair. And they're just like double checking to confirm that it is indeed Bellatrix's hair. Because we know that back in, movie 2/book 2, Hermione turned into a cat. So we just want to make sure it's a human hair this time. But it is indeed Bellatrix's hair because suddenly we are out on the beach and she has transformed into none other than Bellatrix Lestrange. Yeah.
Helena Bonham Carter deserves a fucking nomination for this. I love this so much. She's so good as this.
Yeah.
I love when actors get to do this. We actually just watched, RJ and I just watched a BL where there's magical stuff involved in like past lives or whatever. And they're like trying to escape the villain. And you see them like in the getaway car. And then you like this the camera reveals that the actor is actually another person, but they've put a spell on him to make him look like another person in the group.
Oh,
so then they have like the camera changes both times where it has like the actor playing the other character trying to be the other, because he's trying to like masquerade that he's like playing the other part. It's so, but then it's like the other actor doing it. So there's like four layers of like acting involved. It's so fun. I love when people get to do this. This is the best thing in the world. And even like, I don't even think a lot of the other Polyjuice, this is the most overt like fish out of water energy.
Yeah, yeah.
Of all, I think, the polyjuice potions we get in the series.
Hermione is just so different from Bellatrix Lestrange.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was funny. There are some behind the scenes clips of Hermione and Emma and Helena talking about this, and like how like she would be like, "Oh, do you notice that you do this?" And like Emma would be like kind of like self-conscious then, because she really was like studying her mannerisms and stuff. But yeah, it's just super fun, super cute. So yeah, they're out on the beach. Griphook puts the real sword of Gryffindor into Hermione's bag, and then they apparate right away all together. Before they apparate, Harry says, "We're relying on you, Griphook. If you can get us into the vault and past the guards, then the sword is yours." So Harry has confirmed now that he will give them the sword. So they end up in Diagon Alley, which has a very different vibe to how we remember it. Hermione immediately, as Bellatrix, says good morning to a Death Eater. And then Griphook is like, good morning. Good morning. Ron kind of tries to go in on him because he's like obviously protective of Hermione, but she's like, no, he's actually right. I was like, stupid.
Do they just? I already have forgotten the book that we read. Do they do something to Ron? Does he take a polyjuice or he?
No, he doesn't take polyjuice. She like changes his features.
Okay,
so she,
that's
like,
what it is. Okay.
Transforms the look of him just enough, like his facial features just enough. I think he has like a beard.
That's Rupert.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Rupert with like just like kind of like hunched over with a beard and longer hair.
I want to say that. Oh, we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it after the dragon. We're gonna get to it.
Okay.
Rupert's thick butt. Ooh, he's so.
Adam was into Rupert without his shirt on.
This time I was like, oh.
Oh my God, that's so funny. I don't even think I looked like I must have been like typing furiously at that point because I was not even looking at them like that. I did not even clock.
You were crying because of the music.
Probably, yeah. Actually. Yeah. Do you know what? I was furiously typing away about the dragon and how passionate I was about that dragon being freed. So that's why I did not notice.
That's barbaric.
Yeah, I was like, I'm Hermione and this dragon is free. Thank the fucking Lord. That's exactly what I was typing. So, yeah, Hermione's like, okay, I'm gonna do a better job. Like, I was being stupid, so I will commit better. So they come, it's pretty similar to in the book, honestly, other than the fact that there isn't a Death Eater that like walks in with them. It's just them.
Yes, it's just them.
So Hermione is trying to be more in character, but obviously she's quite nervous. So like there's a shot of her feet where like she like stumbles a little bit. But she is trying to do a better job of acting like Bellatrix. Like when she approaches the counter, and they go to like, I think he goes to get like the supervisor goblin. She's like, I don't like to be kept waiting. Like she's trying to be a bit
MOD,
more.
the manager on duty.
Yeah, the manager on duty. Great. But because the goblin that was originally there has like gone off to get someone else, Griphook says that, oh, they've been tipped off. They know that she's an imposter. So I have to talk about this. Do you know what I'm going to say?
Are you going to talk about the security guard?
Yes. They have pointed ears, but they're wizards.
I didn't notice that. He had pointed ears? Oh, weird.
But they're wizards, supposedly, because they have wands. And I was like, what is happening? Why did they?
I didn't notice. There was no
reason for them. There was no reason for them to give them pointy ears. They literally could have just been wizards. So that was really weird to me, and I didn't understand. I was so like taken out by that because I was like, you basically in the very last movie just introduced something else to us that like what? Excuse me. So that really bothered me. I was like, what is going on? I literally wrote, then there's a weird guard that looks normal but has pointy ears. Adam, what was this?
I do want to shout out at Universal Studios at the Gringotts ride in Florida. The cast members the team members wear these costumes that he's wearing. They're like the security guards.
The security guards. Incredible. So yeah, one of the random pointy-eared guards starts slowly walking towards them, and then Ron whispers to Harry under the cloak. Yeah, he's like slow-mo walking, like very, very slightly.
If you think she's a liar, I would maybe move over.
Maybe move a little quicker.
Yeah.
Ron whispers to Harry, who is under the cloak with Griphook. I didn't mention that, but it's the same as in the book. Griphook is on Harry's back. He's under the cloak.
It is funny purely from a like movie perspective, because they have never, the books nor the movies up to this point had ever established what a police officer or like security person, like we didn't even have a concept
Dementors,
of that
Adam.
until this moment.
Dementors.
Yes, that's it.
Like,
that's it. So the movie had to be like, we gotta have something. Yeah.
The
audience isn't going to believe that a goblin's going to hold back Bellatrix Lestrange. So we got to have a threatening man walk up to them with pointy ears.
So what did you say? The manager on duty, MOD.
Yeah.
The MOD comes forward, asks Bellatrix to present her wand. She's like, no, I'm not doing that. I've never been asked to show my wand. And then he's like, I'm afraid I must insist. And then Harry Imperios the goblin. And then he's like, yes, right this way. Bellatrix, Ms. Lestrange, right this way.
Cool.
So then they're off, and they ride on the very tracks that were then installed at Universal Studios for the, what is it? Something Gringotts?
Escape from Gringotts.
Escape from Gringotts. Yes, that's what it was.
Can I ask you a question? Have we seen... Yeah. I don't recall. Have we seen Imperio used in the movies yet up to this point? I do not remember. We saw it
on a bug.
We saw it on the spider, but apart from that, have we ever seen anyone cast Imperio?
No.
Okay. Because is there a part where we see Draco cast it in 6 on Miss Barback Lady? Okay. Because I only asked... Lady.
Rose Merta.
I only ask because the way they've decided to...
Oh, yeah.
It like is like wafts. It's like perfume. It like wafts, and then he's like, "Oh, delicious!" And I was like, "I don't think that's really what Imperios was."
Also,
like,
the goblin right next to you didn't see that. Then I would have been like, "What the fuck?" Like,
yeah, there's I have to say this would be very hard because it doesn't seem like a lot of spells are visual in the books.
I feel like it's something about the eyes. Like some type of in the eyes or something.
Yeah.
That for me, I would have bought into that much more and it doesn't affect the air that everyone can see.
Yeah, it's weird that the way the movies have the spells, especially as the movies progress, they all become very visual. You can see every spell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're on the cart. They're on their way down to the vault. They pass under the waterfall, the Thief's Downfall, that washes off all their enchantments. And then they're dropped out of the cart. The goblin, whose name is Bogrod, briefly is unimperioed. But Ron casts the Imperio or the Imperious over him again. And then we see the poor dragon. I don't like this. Ron immediately. I never had the subtitles on for this bit. This dragon is a Ukrainian iron belly, which is what Ron says. Ukrainian iron belly dragon. We don't know. I don't know if it's always white or if it's just white. I know in the book it's like we're made to believe that it's white because it's underground. But I'm like, because Ron identified it so quickly, I'm like, I don't know. It's the same lore.
It's funny that they even gave Ron a line to... It's just funny to me.
Because his brother, is the dragon guy, so...
Yes, but we don't know that in the movies.
His
either.
brother doesn't exist in this world. So it's like, okay, we're gonna keep
Charlie's
with that,
not
but the
a
brother's
person.
not here. No, he doesn't exist. So they use the clankers to get past the dragon, and this is where we see Griphook's viciousness revealed really for the first time, because he's like really enjoying telling them that the dragon has been trained to expect pain when it hears the noise, and he's like really grinning when he's watching the dragon like cower away from him. So I was like, oh, I don't like that. And then, yeah, I obviously made a note that I said Hermione is me in this moment. This is barbaric, and I hate them.
That's barbaric.
I don't blame the dragon for trying to breathe fire on them right after the door closes. I was like, yeah, you get them. So they get into the vault. It's huge. There's gold stuff all over the place. It's everything in there was like gold, basically. I was like, okay.
And then it's not. Oh, sorry. You're gonna say it. You're gonna talk about it.
What? Oh,
it doesn't matter. It's not hot. The stuff when it repopulates.
Yeah. They didn't have that be a thing at all. Yeah.
I think that like when it's like the first few things that like vibrate and then populate, I think those look really good.
Those are fine.
But when it is the whole room and then at the very end when he like comes out of the pile of stuff, it looks so fake. It looks so bad. He moves in a way that you would not.
How did they film that? Was he just jumping out of a green screen? Like, I have that thought as well. I was like, how would he move like that though?
I don't know. And also it's weird because they're like, just stop touching things. But their entire body is touching everything. And then it's so strange. The whole
like, stop moving.
Yeah. Okay.
So Hermione does try to Accio it right away. She's like, well, might as well. And then they ask Harry if he can feel it because obviously Accio doesn't end up working. And then sure enough, we hear this like tinkling sound, kind of tinkling, ringing, buzzing, like all of the above. It's so interesting hearing sound effects like this now that like I've had to oversee and like approve sound design for a short film, because it's like, yeah, it really like, oh my God, we went through for the world traveling sound effect, because Adam's seen my short film now. I think it took so long to find that, because I was like, well, it needs to kind of be like almost like a or like like something, but I was like, but I don't want it to really sound like music, but it does need to kind of be melodic, but then it couldn't be too long, and then it also couldn't be too short. So I was like, it was so hard to find something, but we really liked what we had in the end. But yeah, it's so interesting because I'm like, yeah, they definitely like, there's someone that is specifically designing that sound, like being like, okay, this is the exact like sound that we want, you know, and I can just imagine kind of doing the trials of like trying out different things that would work best for that. They probably went through such variety. But yeah, so he hears it and then he sees it up in the corner and he is like, yep, that's it. That's the one. Then the hot, everything being hot is not a thing in this. Hermione accidentally like, I think elbows something or like bumps something on the side of a table, and then it just drops and everything starts multiplying.
Right, but that's why what I mean is like that's the problem is like you showed it that she just bumped into something and then it's but then later all they have to do is not touch anything,
move, and then everything's fine.
Happens.
Yeah. Are they like, oh, it's because it fell? That's why. So then Harry's like, give me the sword, because he's gonna like try and like loop the cup through the sword. So he does manage to get it. There's like a moment where all the stuff is multiplying, and like we said, Hermione just tells everyone to stop moving, and that seems to work for whatever reason. But Harry manages to get out from the big pile of stuff that had been multiplying, but then like falls out of that pile into another pile of stuff, basically,
Mm-hmm.
and drops the cup. Griphook grabs the cup and then like demands that he trade him the sword for the cup. But then when Harry does that, he says, I didn't say anything about getting you out. And then he just like leaves. He's like, I said I'd get you in. I didn't say anything about getting you out. And then he scampers off with the sword. He manages to get past the dragon with the clankers again. And he's like yelling, thieves, thieves. So like everyone knows where to come down. The Gringotts staff knows where to come down to. Yeah. As if he himself didn't just break them in. So then I had a little bit of a question about this because Bogrod ends up getting burned by the dragon. But I was
burned alive.
Burned alive. But I was like, technically, if he is still under the Imperius curse.
I had the same thought.
Why would he have followed?
I don't know.
Anyway?
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
It's literally like just for the gag of him getting burned alive, which I was a little bit like, eh.
There's a lot of things. There's a lot more visual deaths that happen that aren't like bloody, obviously, but there's
but like you see people fall to their deaths.
Yeah. This is like the first one.
So I was like, wouldn't he have just stayed with the trio? Like he surely would have just been like standing outside the doorway. So that was confusing.
Yeah, just like
NPC, just like
NPC energy. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What's the thing that they do where they're like
he they should have just, if they were like, because I guess they have to use him in order to get into the vault because they have to use his hand. It's
they don't need him to get out. Maybe the only thought that I had, like trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, is I was like, well, maybe just because he is a goblin, Griphook like pulled him along with him just because he didn't want to leave him. I don't know. So the weird pointy-eared security guards come down. Again, still we don't know what they are, but they have wands and they are casting spells. Yes. So I'm like, so then they must be wizards. So then why did you need to have them have pointy ears? It's so confusing to me. I don't understand it. Because it's a detail. So it was clearly a very intentional. They would have had to put fake pointy ears on them. There's like a part of me that I'm like, did I make up that they had pointy? Like, there's a part of me that wants to go check the Netflix thing really quickly because I'm like, did I make? Because I just think it's so weird. So I'm gaslighting
His
myself.
name apparently on the Harry Potter wiki is Teffington.
The guard?
Yep.
Where is
it? That's what it says on wiki. And yeah, I'm looking at a photo of him. He's got pointy ears.
Okay, thank you.
And he's played by Anthony Allgood. He is unnamed in the film, but Bogrod refers to him as Teffington in the original screenplay.
Yeah, here we go. Why do you have pointy ears, sir?
So strange.
Why did they do that? It is so strange. I knew I was right. I knew I wasn't gaslighting I knew I was gaslighting myself. I knew it was a real thing. So Hermione says that she has an idea, but it's mad. And then she jumps on the dragon. And I was like, I like this. Not a mad idea at all, Hermione. Let's go, girl. Let's get out of here and let's take that dragon with us. We're all getting out. That.
So this movie has it be, this is her idea. And then you're supposed to assume that later them going down to get the basilisk thing is Ron's idea. So they each get like a moment of like, yeah.
So yes, get that dragon out of there as well. So the dragon breaks I think it might actually be a girl dragon, weirdly enough. She breaks the trap.
Saw her vulva?
No, I thought wasn't in the book, didn't it say something about
I think the only girl dragon we know is in book 4.
Oh yeah, because they're all mothers, like protecting their nests and stuff. I'm gonna say she's a girl.
She's a girl.
So she ends up breaking off.
You felt a feminine energy from the dragon.
I wanted her to be free.
Sure.
So she breaks off the track that the cart again the ride at Universal Studios, Escape from Gringotts. The cart that the security like is riding in just flies off the track, and then they all fall to their deaths, basically.
Yeah.
Maybe they magic themselves and are fine, but
No,
obviously
they died.
goblins don't have wands, so I think they've died. So the dragon breaks out of the floor grate in the bank. What do you call, like, I kept wanting to say the atrium, but I'm like, the atrium is like the entryway, isn't it? So what do you call like that? The bank hall?
I don't know. Yeah, sure.
I don't know what the term for that is. Yeah, so all the goblins are like, oh shit, there's some really good shots of like goblins looking up at the dragon in like shock while like all the coins like scatter around them and stuff. And yeah, it's breathing fire. It's smashing through. This is why I wanted her to be a woman, Adam. She's smashing through that glass ceiling. Okay?
Yes, honey, yes. She is the president.
Yes, we stan a queen. So then she pauses for a second to get the first breath of fresh air that she's had in God knows how long. This is the dragon flight tracks score, whatever, that is also stunning. It's beautiful. And then Hermione casts Reducto. I did watch. She does not hit the dragon's tail. She just does it near the tail, so the dragon is like startled and takes off. I watched it twice to check. And then the dragon flies off over London, and it is free. And yeah, the score in the song is just, it's beautiful. It's so like spot on and inspiring for like what you're watching visually. The moment where the dragon like takes a breath, there's like this, I don't know what, Michael would know the term for it. Not like a pause. I think it's just like the crescendo that it's built to just kind of like holds for a second until it like ends up taking off after Hermione casts a spell, and it's just beautiful. So then they end up flying over a large body of water, which I believe this filming location is actually Scotland. I didn't double check that, but it just, what it looked like to me was the Scotland, like the Loch Ness. Like that's what it looked like to me. Then we get a vision after they drop off the dragon because it's swooping down over the water. They drop off into the water. The dragon does not land like in the book. So the dragon just continues on her flight. But while they drop into the water, we get a vision of Voldy murdering all the people at Gringotts.
Yep.
There's a brief glimpse of Hogwarts. And at this point, I literally made the note, Rowena Ravenclaw, because Harry says Rowena Ravenclaw. He does not say Helena. So I was very confused by this.
Later, he calls her Helena, doesn't he?
Yes. So that's why it won't show you a picture of the screen.
I misunderstood what you're saying. Got it.
So in this moment where he sees, but who we see in Voldemort's head is Helena. So that really bothered me because I was like, okay, you wouldn't know what Rowena Ravenclaw looks like. So it just was so weird to me that was what happened, because I was like, okay, so if we're seeing what Voldemort is seeing in his head, you don't need to show us any of that, actually. I think that you would just straight up see the diadem in your mind's eye, Voldemort, because you're worried about the diadem. So that actually, for me, would have made way more sense to be like, and then we see the diadem, and then Harry knows what it looks like, because guess what? He still has to try and find it. Yeah. So he would still have to go talk to Helena. It was so weird to me that it was like, you see Helena, who we have no idea who that is, and Harry would have no idea who she is. And then you see the Ravenclaw banner. I was like, no, that's not how his mind would work. Yeah. And so then that I was so confused and like kind of annoyed by that. But yeah, I was like, if we're seeing Voldemort's thoughts, I don't think so, honey.
Unless you believe that he knows it's, well, he wouldn't know it's Helen. He wouldn't know it. He wouldn't think it's Rowena anyway. But unless you go with the fact that in the queue for the Hogwarts ride, they have the four founders like talk to each other in that one like room. So he like knows
Yeah.
their portraits from there.
But again, then that would be Rowena, not Helena.
Right. Not
so it's like
it's a different person. Well, maybe she favors her mother. It's a very short glimpse of her.
yeah, I mean they could look alike. That's fine.
Well, the only thing I will say to this though is that it is weird because the vision that he sees is a solid person. He sees a solid person. He does not see the vision that he gets from Voldemort is like a solid human
Woman.
But then later, obviously the Gray
Whoa.
Lady is like transparent. There are parts where she's more transparent, less transparent, but she's like always like kind
Yeah.
of a ghosty. However, I will say it is the same actress. It is not a.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah.
not like a different actress, and you're like, oh, it is supposed to be. He's thinking of Rowena Ravenclaw with
Yeah.
the diadem on her head.
Yeah, yeah.
Voldemort wouldn't have a memory of like solid Rowena Ravenclaw.
No, she was a ghost when he was there. Yeah, it's just weird.
It should have just
The
been
whole
like
thing is weird.
it should have like in Voldemort's mind, the Horcruxes should have been like the cards from Clue that had the weapons on them. Like it should have just been like a card in the image, and then like on the top it says like diadem.
Diadem, cup, ring.
Locket.
Yeah. A lot of I think the shot of the ring is like literally on Dumbledore's hand as well. I was
It's
like,
the only shot they had of it. They were
yeah,
like,
I was literally
"Oh,
like,
fuck."
guys, come
I
on.
think somebody on that last movie threw that fucking ring away. Oh, we don't have that fucking ring anymore. You just
They were like, we don't
Just
need
pull
this. Get
B-roll.
rid of it. Throw it away. So yeah, he calls her Rowena. But then when he sees her, it's Helena.
he has to.
No one caught that. Like they were like, yeah, that's fine.
There has to be something that was cut where Luna tells him it's
Tells
Helena.
him it's her daughter. Yeah, yeah.
It has to be. That's the
Yeah.
only reason it would make sense. Because I remember in the scene with Helena, he calls her. He goes like
Oh, yeah.
through the Gray Lady, and she's like, "Don't fucking call me that." And
Yeah,
then
I
he's
don't
like,
answer
Sorry,
to that, bitch. Sorry, it's
Helena.
Helena. It's Helena, isn't it? Yeah. I know. I had the same thought because I was so ready for him to call her Rowena, and then he did call her Helena, and I was like, oh, no, it is right. So then what the fuck about earlier? Like, what was that?
Yeah, I didn't clock him calling her Roni. That's so funny.
It's so weird.
Well, we've officially spent more time thinking about it than anybody working on the movie
Anyone
did.
on this
So there
film,
you
yeah.
go.
So this basically allows Harry to discover that Voldemort knows they've broken into Gringotts. He knows what they've taken, and he knows for a fact they're hunting Horcruxes.
And did you talk about the other thing that happens in this moment
With the trio?
with the
What do you
sword?
Oh no, we're not there yet. But I am gonna
Oh, it hasn't
mention
happened.
it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So Harry's like, he's really angry, but he's also scared because he knows that we know his whole gig with the Horcruxes. Where he knows we're onto him. And so Hermione's like, you let him in, you can't let him in. And Harry's like, I don't know what to tell you. Like he's like, I can't always help when it happens.
Yeah.
Please don't try to die on this hill anymore, please. And then Ron's like, okay, stop. Anyway, stop bickering. Like, but what can you tell us what happened since you did see what was going on? And then this is pretty much the same as in the book. Harry's just like, we have to go to Hogwarts. I know that there's one there. And Hermione's like, no, we can't do that. We need to like plan it. We need to figure out what we're going to do and like come up with an actual plan. And Harry's like, we've made plans before and then we always get there and then all hell breaks loose. So sorry, I don't really think it's worth it to like waste time trying to figure out a plan. And then Ron's like, well, how are we going to get there? Because Snape's headmaster now. So it's not exactly like we can just waltz into the castle, especially because Harry is like, you know, at this point, undesirable
Public enemy
number one
one.
still.
Mhm.
Yeah. So then Harry's like, oh, we'll go to Hogsmeade and we'll take that secret passage through Honeydukes. Remember? The old faithful. And then Harry points out, he's like, there's something wrong with him right now with Voldemort. Like, he's like, all his thoughts are all like disjointed and or like disconnected. He's like, there's something wrong with him. And Ron's like, oh, well, hopefully that means like he's dying or like, he's like weakened or whatever. And then Harry's like, it feels like he's wounded. So then therefore he's like even more dangerous because he's like obviously is more aware of what we're doing now. And he knows that the Horcruxes and his own life are at stake. Yeah, Adam.
Can you remind me, is Snape teaching Harry occlumency? Is that in book 5 or book 6?
That is in book 5.
That's 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Sirius is still alive.
I didn't even clock. Oh, right. Because he's like, well, you just got to try.
Yeah.
I didn't even clock this when we were reading the book. And maybe I should just talk about it. No, I'll talk about it now because this is when it's brought up.
I was going to say, you're never going to get another chance again.
I know. Maybe I'll talk about it in a couple weeks. I wish in book 6, because Dumbledore, like later, I think in King's Cross is like, oh yeah, I had the feeling that he wouldn't be able to go back in your head because you were like, you had love in your heart and he was too like grossed out by it. So he wouldn't go back into your head. Yeah. I wish we had just had that as a conversation in 6 because the constant Hermione nagging that Harry is letting Voldemort
I know.
is
yeah,
such
don't let
a
him
nothing burger for this book.
Yeah.
And already there's so much conflict that it's like, it just is like another like no one's doing anything right energy that's really frustrating as a reader.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. So yeah, Harry's like, no, he's even more dangerous now because he's wounded. He's like a wounded animal, like how they like are more likely to lash out. So then we see Voldemort back at Malfoy Manor with all the security and goblins lying dead around him. He tells Nagini that the boy has discovered their secret, so they're vulnerable now, and they have to find him. They have to like send everyone out there to hunt him down, and Nagini must stay close. And then he disapparates, and then we see Griphook lying dead on the floor, and the sword of Gryffindor disappears.
They literally had to add this because otherwise, when Neville pulls the sword out, every audience member would be like, who didn't read the books would be like,
yeah, huh?
What?
Yeah. What do you mean? So they land in Hogsmeade. The caterwauling charm goes off, just like in the book, but they are not under the invisibility cloak.
They just don't use it. The only time they use it in this entire movie is to go to Gringotts,
right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they end up running, like they're like hiding in. Literally, it looks like a market or something that they were like hiding in. And then there's like another caterwauling charm that goes off, which like, how? I don't understand. That was like convenient, and then they just like the people trying to find them like run off somewhere else. And then they run down.
I thought we were gonna get like a shot of Hermione having like done a spell to like trigger it somewhere else. But no, they're all just like, boy, wow. Lucky us.
Phew. Yeah.
Are we just supposed to assume it's Aberforth?
I know. That's why I was like, my cat set it off because I was like, isn't it triggered by someone apparating in there? So someone else just apparated in there randomly? Yeah. I don't know. Anyway. So they end up running down an alleyway to try and get away, but there's an iron gate that is unfortunately locked. So then, thankfully, someone opens up like their side door, their like door back to the alleyway, and is like, "Get in here, Potter." So they all glance at the stranger in surprise as they're like coming in, and then when they're actually in the house itself, Ron and Hermione are both like, "Did you see? I thought it was Dumbledore."
They trust him really quickly. It's kind of crazy.
They just don't have a choice. It's like, I get it. In that moment, they were like about to be found. So they're kind of just like, okay. But yeah, I guess the fact that he looks like Dumbledore probably doesn't hurt. So then we see the photo.
Does he? Sorry. Do you think
No,
he
I know.
does?
No, I know. I mean, like I guess the facial hair does.
Yeah.
But I was like, is the actual like facial features that similar? Probably not. we see the photo of Ariana on the wall, and was it just me? She was a lot older than like.
Yeah, she looks like she's like 14.
Oh, I thought she even looked older than that. I was like, I thought she could have been like 17 years old.
Oh.
They probably just found someone that was like a legal adult but could play young. But I was like, I don't know. I think maybe it was one like portrait. You find a kid.
She does so little. Yeah, I was like, it's not like you're like, and now we need her, but we got to work around her shooting schedule. Like, she shoots for what, 14 minutes one day, and you've got everything you need.
Yeah. So then
she walks down and walks back.
Literally, yeah. You don't even see that. Like, so yes, the broken shard of a mirror that Harry has, the pair to that is on the wall, and it has like a shard out of it.
Missing.
Which is supposed to be the shard that Harry has, Adam. So it isn't. I know.
Boot.
So I was like, it was just weird. So I was like, okay, so Harry has that, but then the mirror is looking at itself. What are we doing? It's supposed to be, for those of y'all that have read the books with us, you already know. There's supposed to be two separate mirrors. Harry has a broken shard from his, and then the other one ends up in Aberforth. That one's not supposed to be broken. So that whole thing is like...
but they haven't even set any of it up. So they're like, we have 4 seconds in this movie to do this.
Yeah. So it was so strange. But yeah, we can see Harry's looking into the mirror and sees like Hermione's like shoulder and hair in the reflection, and she can see him in the mirror.
Do you think if you held up the mirrors to each other, you would open like a portal? To hell? Like, what do you think?
Yeah. Who knows? That not even the showrunners, they don't even know.
No.
So then the stranger comes up, and as we all know, it is Aberforth. And Harry is like, oh, you're the one that sent Dobby. And he's like, yeah, where is he? Where have you left him? And then Harry sadly has to tell him that he is dead. Just like in the book. And Aberforth is like, oh, I'm sad. I liked that elf. And then Harry's like, who gave you that mirror? We find out it was Mundungus Fletcher. And this is the first time those of us that have been watching just the movies find out that this mirror apparently belonged to Sirius.
They should have just cut it. I don't think they even needed it.
Apparently. Literally has never been mentioned until now. And then we get this whole bit about Albus told him. Albus told Aberforth, apparently, that the mirror was Sirius. And he said, he also told me you, Harry, would likely be hacked off if you ever found out I had it. Excuse me. But ask yourself where you'd be now if I didn't have it. And I was like, oh, is hacked off mean like annoyed? Because I thought hacked off meant like killed.
Oh, I
like
think
literally
I think British
off.
slang hacked off is like ticked.
It's like pissed off. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, it must mean that then, because otherwise that statement just wouldn't make sense. I've never heard anyone say hacked off here. Then he gives them some like, I think just like bread, like maybe like bread in butterbeer, and Ron and Hermione like immediately like swarm it and down it, but Harry doesn't even come to the table, so he's kind of just got a one-track mind right now. He doesn't want to eat. So Harry tells Aberforth that they need to get into the castle because Albus left them a job to do, to which Aberforth's like, oh yeah, nice job, the job he left you. And then Harry literally just tells him they're hunting Horcruxes. So this is very different as well, that he's just like, yeah, I'm going after the Horcruxes, and he's just like telling anyone who will listen. Basically.
Sure, sounds good.
He's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna let you know. It doesn't need to be a secret. So the scene is very different. We don't get any of the backstory on what actually happened with Ariana like we do in the book. It's literally just like essentially the first part of what happens in the book, where like Aberforth is like, I don't trust my brother. You shouldn't trust him either. Like, go home and live a little bit longer. And then when he pushes back at Harry even more. Harry's like, well, I trusted him. And he tries to like call Harry out for like lying to himself because he's like, only a fool does that. And Harry doesn't strike him as a fool. But Harry says, I'm not interested in what happened with you and your brother. I don't care that you've given up. I trusted the man I knew. So like in the film, obviously Harry could just be saying this and not really mean it. But in the film, if we're going off of like Adam was saying that it's like no subtext, just going off what people say, Harry is like, I trust Dumbledore and I'm just going to get this job done. So there isn't like a conflictedness, like kind of what is alluded to in the book.
Well, because we don't even really get any of the Dumbledore stuff even in part 1.
Yeah. Like they just
because we don't know anything. Yeah. We don't know anything about Ariana in part 1. Like
no. So yeah, you would be very confused about who Ariana is suddenly if you had only been watching.
So there's just a painting of a girl that brings
a girl.
Oh,
that's their sister. Oh, okay, and then she's gone. Like okay. So yeah, so if we hadn't read the book and had only seen this, we would have no idea of what the context of like any sort of complicated feelings that Harry has previously had with Albus. He says that they need to get into the castle tonight. So then Aberforth turns to the portrait of Ariana and says, you know what to do. And she walks off into the back of her painting. So then Aberforth says, my brother sacrificed many things on his journey to find power, including Ariana. And he says that he gave her everything but time. So that's all we get. He ends up walking up. Hermione thanks him. And then
people who have never read the books have to think Dumbledore killed this woman.
yeah. They're like, oh, whoa.
He killed her out, huh? Holy shit.
Yeah, he was like, oh.
Which I guess is implied in the books that there's like a confusion around it, but it's...
Yeah, they don't know. It's like there was a like some type of thing happened and she was hit. I always interpret it as something hit her, and even though it wasn't a killing curse, it triggered something like because her magic was already so chaotic, it basically like something self-destructed.
Maybe it was whatever Molly Weasley uses to kill Bellatrix.
In this film? Yeah. Maybe. Yeah.
And she explodes
into a bunch of little pieces. I mean, it's not that dissimilar to what happens to Voldemort in the end. So at least they went out in the same way, you know. Bellatrix can find some comfort in that. So Hermione thanks Aberforth, and then after he goes upstairs, she reminds Harry, she's like, he did save us twice. That doesn't sound like someone who's given up. So shush. And then Neville appears through the portrait, same as the book. This is only the only kind of unknown way into the castle now, because obviously it's come out of the room of requirement. So the Death Eaters don't know about it. And then he tells them about the Carrows, that they're like trying to use unforgivable curses on like first years that have detention and shit like that. And then they make it into the room of requirement and all the other students are there, including Luna and Dean. Luna and Dean. Luna's already come back to Hogwarts. It's fine. Dean was never on the run. He's good. So.
How did Luna get back?
Great question.
Dean in the movie was not in any of this, so we're just supposed to assume Dean was at school this whole time, even though he was he's a Muggle-born, so he would not have been at the school at all. But okay.
Yeah.
But Luna just apparated into the castle somehow, apparently.
It was so weird as well, because I was like, Luna could have come with, but I guess, do you know what? No, Adam, they needed her there for the Ravenclaw stuff. Because I was like, she could have just apparated in with the order.
But no,
she had to talk
could
about
have, because he doesn't say the thing about, I mean, I guess.
No, she talks about it in this, in the room of requirement.
Yeah.
So everyone's obviously very excited to see Harry,
but Cho Chang's
Ron
already
Hermione.
there.
Yeah, there's people that have already left the school are just there. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. So it's, I don't know how like logical it is, but whatever, it's fine. So everyone's just there. There's this one kid that sends a message out to Lupin and the others, but he does say River. So I was like, okay, is that supposed to be like we're still using the name River, even though we haven't like talked about the radio program. There's some communication system that they have in place, though, because he goes and says, lightning has struck. I repeat, lightning has struck. It's from the DA. So he's communicating somehow with the order. So then Harry enlists the help of the students to find something hidden in the castle that they can use to fight Voldemort. But he says he doesn't know where it would be. He doesn't know what it is or where it would be, which he knows is not a lot to go off of. And then this is when Seamus is like, that's nothing to go off of, which is one of the few funny lines in the film. And then Harry's like, it has something to do with Ravenclaw. So like we can start there. I'm so sorry, but that's all. He doesn't say so sorry. That's all he knows. But that's what I would say if I was Harry. I'd be like, that's all I've got for you. So Luna, of course, brings up the diadem and Cho's like, yeah, but like no one's seen that for centuries, Luna, because, you know, it's like lost. I just have to quickly say, what is her name? Dang it.
Katie Lang.
Yeah, Katie Lang. So, Katie Lang, who plays Cho, voices Caitlin from Arcane, which is a show that Michael and I love. And her character is in the like sapphic couple that I stan, Kate by. And now, like, as soon as she popped up, I was like, oh, it's Caitlin. So now I'm like, oh, I can't unsee it now that she's in that show. And she's a part of like two fandoms that I love. So I was like, yay. We love to see it. And then Ron is like, understandably, is like, what the fuck is a diadem? Can someone explain? And Cho's like, oh, it's like a tiara. So I appreciated that they added that into the film because I was like, yeah, no one is going to know what we're talking about. So then there's this great moment where Ginny comes in. So she is here too, apparently. And Ron gets excited to see her, but like she only has eyes for Harry. And they both are just kind of like, hey, at each other. And then Ron's like, wow, I haven't seen her in 6 months. And it's like, I'm Frankie first year. To which Seamus is like, yeah, but she's got a lot of brothers and she's only got one Harry, doesn't she? To which Ron is like, can you shut up? Please stop talking. And then Ginny tells them that Snape knows Harry was spotted in Hogsmeade. And Snape has called all the students into the Great Hall, basically threatening anyone who helps Harry or fails to come forward if they have information about him. And then he's like, does anyone have any knowledge of Harry's movements? Would you like to step forward now if you are aware of anything to do with Harry Potter? And then Harry immediately steps forward from the crowd and and says, looks like you have a security problem, headmaster. And then this is where I was like, wow, British
this
people
school
are like
has
so much
been
more.
had a security problem, Harry. Your entire tenure at this school, there's been a security problem. Be serious.
I was like, wow, because he called him headmaster. I was like, wow, British people are like so much more polite than Americans. I'd be like, looks like you got a security problem, bitch. I would not call him headmaster. And then the order comes into the Great Hall through the hallway. And then Harry's like, how dare you stand where he stood? Tell them how you looked him in the eye, a man that trusted you and you killed him. And then actually, I think this might be my favorite movie or my favorite moment in the entire movie. This is my favorite part.
Fight.
There's so many good like little details here. So I watched this back a couple of times because there is a theory. So I had seen this scene one time played in slow motion on either TikTok or Instagram. I can't remember now.
I wonder if we're about to talk about the same thing.
Oh, okay. So there is a theory that Snape casts charms behind his back to basically knock out the Death Eaters. So they won't...
the Carrows.
The Carrows, yeah. So they won't fight Minerva, like protecting her. And it is very quick, but you do see him like in the special effects of the spells. There's like a zap.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like...
I thought... I didn't know if it was him casting or if it was like him rebounding them onto them. Like her
it
spell.
could be. It could be
Yeah.
or that as well.
But
yeah,
I did notice it.
Misdirects them. Yeah. Because then they just like collapse. But there is also a moment that like, because that is the bit that I'm like, I don't know if that's confirmed, but I have seen someone do like a breakdown of why they think that's what happens there. And I'm like, great, I love that theory. That's fun. This is exactly what Adam and I were talking about last week or the week before. I can't remember which episode it was, where we said it's because it's Alan Rickman. Like,
Ari, because I'm going to obviously have to talk about Alan Rickman in my portion.
Yes.
Where's my note? I have to show you.
I got emotional so many times because of Alan's performance, and y'all know how much I hate Snape.
Alan Rickman is a gift to this franchise.
He is. He literally is.
Yeah.
I really genuinely think that's why people have so much more empathy for Snape than he really deserves. Because how can you not have empathy for Alan Rickman's act? Like, he just makes you feel like so emotionally moved. So there is this moment. I watched this back a couple times because I wasn't sure if he drew his wand because the movement of just Minerva coming forward, like, because I don't think he pulled his wand on Harry, but because Minerva like moves forward, it might be the editing as well. But what it looks like is like, because someone moves swiftly, then like Severus like pulls his wand just like as a reflex, but then he realizes it's Minerva, and you see him hesitate and like look distraught, and then like lift up his wand to like lock in. Yes.
He does not hit her at all.
He does not hit her at all. She obviously casts the first spell. He just like kind of basically is, like defensive magic. He does not retaliate towards her at all. And then he leaves. Minerva yells, coward, as he leaves. But his the way that he is just like, you can genuinely tell how upset he is that he is about to have to face off with Minerva. And it literally is like, it was like heart-wrenching to, it was so good. Like, I was like, this is why people have so much empathy
I
for
believe
Snape, he gives so much more to the character than what's in the books. In the books, he's literally just like an adult bully, like grown-up incel. But like, that's not how Alan is at all.
I believe that he could be pulling out his wand at Harry, but then the next thing would be like, now you're going to come with me and I'm going to take you to
take you to
I don't think he's like pulling it out to like kill Harry.
Hurt
obviously.
him, yeah. Because Harry does have his wand out as well. Like, Harry's wand is drawn as well, but there isn't a shot of like Harry whipping out his wand in the way that we see like Minerva come up to like actually duel with him. I do think having it's just so wild because like obviously we know in the book from reading the book like what's happening for Snape in this moment, because it's like he knows the plan of what he and Dumbledore had discussed, but Minerva has no idea about that. So in his mind, it's like, oh, I'm supposed to take Harry to help him into whatever, but like that's obviously not going to happen now because of what has happened in this moment, that I'm obviously going to have to leave. There was a part of me that I was like, maybe he genuinely thought that Minerva might kill him, so that's why he felt like he had to go. But I was like, I wonder if he maybe would have just gone silently. I know that was never going to happen. It was never going to happen that like Snape would like be able to have a conversation with Minerva McGonagall being like, hey, by the way, I've actually been a good guy this whole time. Like, I knew we were never going to get that, but I just, because it was like set up that I guess that was the closest he could have been to actually having a one-on-one moment with Harry if he would have found him in the castle and been able to talk to him one-on-one. Like, but it just was never, there was no way he was going to get Harry alone after.
I don't think he ever would have told Harry. I genuinely do not think he would have ever told Harry.
Oh, really? Okay, so you think it would have been just like, but he had to give him the memories.
Because what's the line? Dumbledore says like, there will be a moment when it's clear something.
He'll have to know.
I think in the movie, the line is different. In the book, it's when he keeps his snake, he starts protecting his snake. That's what the line is in the
yeah.
book.
Yeah, a time will come where Voldemort becomes very concerned with like keeping Nagini close to him or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. In the movie, I think the line is like, there'll become a time when it's clear, I think is like how they change it for the movie.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, there's just this the beautiful moment where he hesitates knowing that he's about to have to duel Minerva is just like
and then he's sacked.
The sacking of Severus Snape. But yeah, so he flies out through the window into the very dark night sky to find Voldy somewhere. And then Harry starts hearing Voldemort whisper in his head. And then there's like suddenly a little girl is just screaming with her hands over her ears. And then Padma Patil is screaming with her hands over her ears. And then we all hear Voldemort's voice come like over an intercom. I don't know how else to say it. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So oh, sorry, go ahead.
I feel like this is a very big change. Maybe it's
the screaming.
Just me. No, the whispering. Because in the books, it's like Voldemort is like so loud that you can hear him in the mountains nearby. But the way they show that here, the way they show that here is like he's whispering in each of your ears. There's two things. There's a thing I like about it, and there's a thing I don't like. The thing I like about it is now everyone has the feeling of what Harry has like. Now everyone is experiencing what Harry has felt for years of like feeling him inside of you and the like terror. The thing I don't like about it is there's a lot of extras doing a lot of extra work. It's a lot of people acting in a way that I did not believe.
I know. Yeah.
And I was like, let's leave it. Let's leave it to the people who are paid.
Yeah. Voldemort then says for them to give Harry Potter to him, and then he'll leave Hogwarts untouched, and they'll be rewarded. They have 1 hour. So just like in the book, Pansy Parkinson's like, what are you waiting for? Someone grab him. Well, I think in the book she says, he's there, but Potter's there. And then Ginny steps in front of him, followed by Hermione and then some of the other students. Adam, Ron was not here for this scene.
Oh, weird.
Rupert is not in this scene. I looked. He is not there.
That's so weird.
I swear to God, he is not there. I was looking in like
maybe he was sick
to see if he was. He's just not there. He is not in the crowd. I was so confused. So yeah, he just isn't there. I don't know why. Phil, they must have just thought like no one will notice. It's fine. But I was like,
yeah.
I thought it was really weird that there wasn't someone like. That Ron wasn't one of the people that stepped up around Harry. And then I like kept watching after that. And I was like, yeah, no, he really isn't there. Sorry, Michael's going to.
I feel like this movie also is like the shortest Dan Radcliffe has ever looked. For this whole movie, I was like, oh my God, is he like 5'4"? Like, how short is this man?
He's shorter than Boosie. Yeah, I was like, I don't understand. There was a couple times, I guess maybe at that point they just were like, whatever. Like, cause I don't think I ever thought Ginny was taller than him, which like to me, it doesn't matter. I know people that are taller than their significant other. It doesn't matter. But I was like, oh, she is taller than him.
Yeah.
Now I guess maybe she must've just grown in that last year filming. I don't know.
Sure.
So Filch ends up running in and shouts about how the students are out of bed. And Minerva's like, yeah, they're supposed to be out of bed, you blithering idiot.
He's is like, joke number 2 in this movie.
I'm sorry, Mom. Yeah. Yeah, joke number 2. And then she's like, actually, this is good timing. Can you take the Slytherins to the dungeons, please? And thank you. Adam texted me about this.
I texted, was that the first text I texted you about this? I was like,
no, you I think, what did you say? Maybe it was though.
no,
Hold
I
on, wait.
was. I said throwing the Slytherins in the
Yeah.
dungeons is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And this
remembered that. I couldn't remember if it was that or they got vaporized by the shield. Good God, because I thought it as well.
And then we
like,
end this movie with him telling his son that there was a great Slytherin headmaster. So, like, decide the narrative that you want people to have.
Come on. Yeah. So, yeah, she sends the Slytherins to the dungeon. And then Minerva asks Harry why he's back. He's like, he's like, I've got something to do. Can you please just buy me time? And she's like, yeah, I'll secure the castle.
Willing to tell Aberforth there's a Horcrux, but not Minerva.
Not
McGonagall
Minerva McGonagall.
The woman who would actually know what the fuck. Do you think Aberforth knows what a Horcrux is? Be serious.
No. Yeah, Minerva would know. Minerva would be like, she'd be like, good lord.
She'd be like, he has Horcruxes? That's how he's doing this?
Yeah. My God. And then, yeah, briefly before he runs off to find the Horcrux, there's a very sweet exchange where she says, it's good to see you. And he says, it's good to see you too. It's very sweet. And then he tells Neville to hold the fort.
Every single thing in this movie with Neville is perfect. Every single thing they gave Neville to do in this movie is better than 100 times better than in the book.
Yeah. Yeah. They're really giving him an arc in this last film.
Yes.
They're like, we're going to make every moment with Neville count. They did a good job. So everyone's then running up and down the staircase. Ron brings up how Harry destroyed the diary with the basilisk fang. And they think they know where they can find one because they'll obviously need it to destroy the Horcrux. They're like, there's no point in finding the Horcrux if we can't destroy it. So then Harry gives them the map so they can find him later. Harry's going to the Ravenclaw common room to start there. And Luna's chasing after him, but he's not listening to her yet. So Minerva, Flitwick, Molly, Slughorn, Neville, and Seamus all walk out into the courtyard together. The adults start casting protective enchantments while, like, Minerva sends Neville and Seamus off to go blow something up. But we don't know what yet. So Minerva encourages Flitwick to call Voldemort by his name because she's like, you might as well call him Voldemort.
Bridge?
Yeah, that's the bridge.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did
she's
not
like,
connect
you might
those
as
two
well.
until just now.
You what?
I didn't connect those two until just now.
Oh, okay. Minerva's like, because I think Flitwick says, or Flitwick definitely says, he who must not be named at some point. And she's like, well, his name is Voldemort, Phineas, and you might as well call him by it because he's going to try to kill you either way. So come on. And then she uses this super badass spell that enchants the suits of armor from Hogwarts to come forward and defend the school. When I watched this for the first time, I was sobbing, and I still got choked up watching this. And then she has the little quip. She's like, "Oh, I've always wanted to use that spell."
With Molly. Molly is so weirdly in this scene. It's very
Molly's
strange.
Weird in this. Every time we saw Molly, with the exception of when Fred has passed,
she kills Bellatrix.
She was kind of weird to me. Like when Minerva says this, she kind of like weirdly like side eyes Minerva, and I was like, why is that Molly Weasley's reaction?
It doesn't. I don't understand why she's there. I mean, I understand why she's there because she's a popular like character and like whatever.
Yeah.
But like, you already have. I mean, it all depends on who was available when. That's really the issue.
I guess. Because the thing was, we did have Pepperoni was there later, but maybe she wasn't there on that day.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I did see her later.
Yeah, she's late. She's not in the scene of all of them coming out to the courtyard, but she is there in later moments.
Yeah.
Miriam.
When Trelawney is there as well.
But like, or Pepperoni, or you could have had Poppy. Either one, Madam.
Yeah,
Pomfrey.
Poppy could have been there. Yeah. But yeah, I was like, oh, okay. But I love that moment with the. This is another song that I still listen to from this film. Oh, it's just beautiful.
I did not envision it when I read the book as like they were made of stone. I like it for the movie, but in my head, it's like in
suits of armor. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, in Bed Knobs and Broomsticks when they're like when they all
I've never
like
seen Bed Knobs and Broomsticks.
Oh, okay. Well,
need to watch
there at the end of the movie, they're like all the suits of armor from this like historical museum come to life, and that's the scene that I always thought of in my brain. Yeah.
I mean, just y'all already know I'm such a fantasy fan and such a fantasy girl, like medieval fantasy girly. So like anything that is like that, it just, I don't know why it stirs something in me. And like the music is like, do, 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 do. It's very moving. And then Minerva, like being the one to do it, to protect the school. Like I just love Minerva. I love Minerva as a character so much. I think I might be even more of like a diehard like Minerva stan than like a Hermione stan now. I think I've come around to like she is my number one character now.
I just also like the implication that like I've always wanted to use that one is like she has so many tricks up her sleeve, but she's like so good about doing her job correctly that she would never like
can't use
betray
this
that.
Unless,
I know. Yeah. So good.
So then we see the protective enchantments, like a little like a little snow globe basically forming around the castle. The Dementors are lingering just outside of the boundaries of it. Luna catches up to Harry finally. She literally has to like shout him down to stop. She's like, "You stop and listen to me right now." And then she's like, "You have to talk to someone dead." So obviously a ghost. And then there's like this, it was something about the pacing for this, like just like the timing of it didn't quite work for me because it's like, it was such urgency. And then suddenly they just stop and Luna's like, "It's quite impressive, isn't it?" And I was like, what? Again, this is not landing for me. I was like, you were in such a rush. Can you at least like look out the window, say that line and then keep going down the stairs? Like, I was like, I understand it is impressive, but you're also like in a hurry. It was so weird for there to be all that urgency and then they both just stand there.
Yes, but I was like, the book has the exact same problem. They did not try to fix this because there's weird parts of the book where I'm like, hurry up, move your ass.
So, and this was where I said like he takes her down, she takes him down to where he can meet the Gray Lady, who is Helena, not Rowena. And there is no exchange between Luna and Harry that we see where she's like, "This is Helena Ravenclaw." He just knows that it's I was like, you literally called her Rowena, girl. Anyway, so this scene is super bizarre. Did you think this as well, Adam? This scene is super bizarre how they just have the ghosts like constantly moving around. Like there were some times where it actively made me laugh. Like there's this one shot of her where like she literally like is walking, like you see her walking like essentially she's a ghost so she can walk anywhere, but like literally like off a cliff and then like into the wall to like come back to talk to Harry. And she was literally just like
they just have her go through solid objects just to like
so many times
reiterate the fact that she is a ghost. Like it's why did she suddenly become an orb and go into Harry's heart? Like I was just it was very it was very the Eddie Murphy Haunted Mansion movie for a minute. I was like,
it was that. Oh my God. The moment that she went into his heart and it was literally like a fan was like, it was like, whoo. Like, I was like, what the fuck are we doing? Why? That has never been a thing that ghosts did. It was so weird to me. I was like, I didn't need any of that. And it kept happening. She kept just like, whew.
Listen, I can see why after movie 2 they stayed away from ghosts for so long because they did not know what to do with them.
So weird. I have to find there's literally this one moment where she just literally it's after she screams as well. That's what it was. She was like, "He defiled it with dark magic," and then literally she's like.
Yeah, it's so weird. They also, I think they
all the way in the distance, hands walking away. I'm like, okay. It was so funny. It literally, yeah. It was literally that. It literally was that. It was like, and then all of a sudden she was just like, and then literally like did a point turn. Like it was like a sharp
90 degrees.
Exactly what you did. Yes.
Yeah.
A 90-degree turn. And I was like, first off, you were just screaming and then suddenly you're across the room.
They also, I think, warp her face in that moment when she like screams. Like they make her features like grow.
Yeah. I did like that, but I liked that effect because I was like, ooh, I think ghosts actually can be quite scary if they're like really angry.
Yeah. I just listen, it's a moment that I don't really even think works in the book. So it didn't work in the movie.
It gave me a really good laugh. Oh my gosh, it's so funny.
And also, if you have no idea about, if you've, again, this movie does not make sense if you've never read the books. None of this movie makes sense.
You would just be like,
wow, okay.
I'm just along for the ride, I guess.
Yeah.
So when he tells her, the important thing we need to know about this scene that is so bizarre is that when he does say that he wants to destroy it, she does kind of seem intrigued by that. It seems like that's what she wants for it as well.
Yeah.
So then we briefly get a glimpse of Voldy and his like massive amount of Death Eaters that he has now. It's quite scary. They begin trying to break the protective enchantments around the castle. Yeah.
But also, couldn't they have just made it Rowena? Like for the movie?
Yeah, it could have been.
Like,
it could have been.
She doesn't have any of the backstory of being like, I stole it from my mom because I wanted to be smarter than her. I got killed by my douchebag
ex-lover who also is here.
Who's also here.
Yeah.
We have to do choreographed waltzes together every year or whatever for the like entrance feast. You know what? Maybe it is better in the movie.
Minus the weird ghost, her just bopping around the room and being a ghost. It was like,
well, and also they do this thing that I do like, which is like they shoot her lighting opposite of where the light in the scene is coming from so that it looks really unnatural. Like I do think that's a smart way to depict ghosts out of like, we don't know how else we need to do this.
Yeah.
So I like that effect, but there are variations in how much she's transparent, because at the end of the scene she's like practically solid. Like you cannot see Harry through her at the end. But at the beginning, obviously, she's like completely, like she's like, oh, I don't know. It's very weird. They don't know how translucent she needs to be.
Yeah.
Oh no, I guess they have. I said book 2, but no, they have Myrtle come back in 4.
Oh yeah, briefly. Yeah.
But even that, I think, is like better. She's like so fluid in her motion.
Yeah,
it's so weird that they make. It's weird. It's a weird choice.
There was a lot of stuff just with like, why again? Why did she become a beam? It was so bizarre. I just didn't understand that, like, why that. They were like, yeah, and this will be really cool because all of a sudden she'll just become an orb and go right into his chest and come out his back. Like, I was like, why? Why is she doing that? My God. Okay. So all you need to know, though, that was the first part that I was like, what the fuck is happening? But the weirdest part was 100% when she just was across the room suddenly doing the 90-degree turn. Y'all know, go and watch the movie again.
I know exactly
what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I didn't laugh at it when it happened, but I was like,
it's so funny. Weird. But yeah, you guys, anyone that's listening to this right now, pause this podcast and go and like watch it, because it is just so fun. It's so random. It's like she was literally just screaming in his face, and now she's all the way across the room, floating in the air, and does a direct 90-degree turn into the wall. Like it's, and then to only walk back to talk to him again. Like it just is so weird. But I love it. It gave me such a good laugh. So then Harry does get like a riddle-like answer out of Helena as to where the diadem is hidden, but not before she tells him, "It's strange, you remind me of him a bit. You remind me of him." And then we see Lupin. What?
You're really trying to make sure that they've laid all the clues that he is a Horcrux. You have to, all the clues are here, guys.
Get it all out there. So Lupin, Kingsley, Fred, and George stand guard at the front-facing side of the castle, like overlooking the courtyard, basically where Snape was standing in the first shot that we saw. And then we get a moment where George says to Fred, "You okay, Freddie?" He says, "Yeah." And then George goes, "Yeah, me too." And I was like, no, we know it's coming. That's mean. Mm-hmm. And then Hermione and Ron have managed to get into the Chamber of Secrets because Ron has overheard Harry speaking parcel tongue in his sleep. Which this is not much. I mean, this is different than in the book because we at least get to see it. But like, again, it's literally just like the book does the same thing where Ron just has learned to impersonate Harry.
In the book, we don't get to see it.
We don't get to see it. We just hear that Ron has somehow managed to speak parcel tongue correctly.
Yeah.
So we get an idea of what Neville and Seamus are supposed to blow up as a bunch of snatchers. Oh, sorry. I need to text Michael. We get an idea of what Neville and Seamus are supposed to blow up as a bunch of snatchers, a ton, like hundreds of snatchers, come running out of the forest and try to attack Neville standing alone on the bridge. But because of the enchantment, a few of the snatchers just evaporate into the protective enchantments, apparently. So
they
Minerva
get
McGonagall,
vaporized.
Can you teach me what this is? I want to put it around our house so no burglar can break in. Thank you. And then we're back in the Chamber of Secrets. The Chamber of Secrets with Ron and Hermione. Hermione manages to destroy the Hufflepuff Cup Horcrux, which Harry and Voldemort both feel. And then Hermione and Ron share their first kiss. But I always thought, because they give these really big, like, wide shots of the Chamber of Secrets, and I was always like, I don't know if I'd want my first kiss to be in the Chamber of Secrets, but whatever, it's fine.
Okay.
If you've seen the behind the scenes of them filming this, they could not get through this. They both just kept cracking up.
In the behinds, remind me, is this whole scene like all of it green screen except for like the floor they're on?
I don't remember I thought they had the things on the side. Hold on, let me look.
Because I think the CGI in this scene looks really bad. They look really floating in the middle of space, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like the green screen effect that like when they have no dimension to them and they're kind of just like pasted 2D onto the background.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's just all green screen.
Because the original Chamber of Secrets, the movie, that whole thing was like, not all of it, obviously, but like a lot of it was actually built, and it was like it has such like dimension that I was like, oh, this looks so, and that's why they keep having to shoot it like straight on, so it just looks perfect. Like I was like, I hated it. I was so mad.
Yeah. It is funny. It is so funny watching behind the scenes of like a kiss scene because it's so awkward. When you have to kiss in something like that, it is so awkward, y'all. It's not
also,
like
I have to shout out this mistake, or maybe it's not a mistake. I don't know. When she like uses the fang on the cup.
Oh yeah.
Right before the water like comes out of the whatever.
Uh-huh.
And this whole thing is so stupid too, to be honest. It's just a lot of like build tension just to whatever. But the cup disappears in the next shot. Like she's like has the fang, but she's like stabbing nothing in the shot. It's very weird.
Oh, that is weird.
I think they're supposed to be.
I'll have to watch
I think
that.
it's still supposed to be there. But then I don't know, because sometimes I feel like, no, all the Horcruxes still exist. They still are like physical objects after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
It's super weird. Because I
liked that they kept at the end of their kiss, they have like a laugh, and I liked that they kept that in, because I thought it was very like sincere. So then Voldemort absolutely loses his shit and completely like shatters the protective enchantment because he's so pissed about knowing that another Horcrux has been destroyed. But that comes at the cost of the Elder Wand, because it starts cracking. So then the Snatchers can get through onto the bridge now, but thankfully Neville and Seamus did manage to like rig this bridge. I don't know how they did it, but they rigged the bridge properly so they all fall to their deaths. And for a moment we think that Neville went down with them, but thankfully he survives. And also like all, like you said, all of these moments with Neville are really, really good. Like I feel like he just nails it every time. Like when he's like, that went well.
He's perfect.
Like, he's just so good. So then we're coming back
to
the
only thing I hate that they give Neville to do in this is when he's like, I gotta tell Luna I love her. I was like, you do?
He literally is just like on an adrenaline rush is what's happening. Neville is experiencing an adrenaline rush for the first time in his life. And he's like,
oh, okay.
So there's giants running towards the castle with Death Eaters. Some of the Death Eaters are flying through the sky, so it's not only Voldemort that can fly like this as well. One of the giants gets pulled down by like Devil's Snare. We've talked about this,
but this is a huge departure from the books, because even in book 7, they like comment on the fact that Snape has learned how to fly from Voldemort.
Oh yeah,
like,
Snape.
It's like a big deal that he like flies out the window.
Yeah.
No, all the Death Eaters can do it.
All of them can just do it. It's fine. So Harry manages to find Ginny and Neville. Here we go, Adam. Neville asks if they've seen Luna because he wants to tell her he's got feelings for her since they might both be dead by dawn. And then Harry and Ginny share what might possibly be the most awkward kiss to watch.
You can
it's
see
the same.
that Daniel Radcliffe doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
He's like,
I don't know if maybe like she hadn't had her first kiss yet as well. So it's just like how to kiss is like, just, I don't know. It's awkward in the previous film as well. It just, their kiss is just awkward. Not him and Cho's kiss. They were going at it. So someone needed to be like, Katie, can you talk to Bonnie about
how to kiss?
Oh my gosh. There was one time someone from a show I did, I think, had to talk to the guy I was kissing because he literally kissed like, where was I?
The kiss.
Yeah, the awkward kiss. No, I meant in my notes. I knew I'd mentioned the kiss. So then Draco apparates into Hogwarts and snatches Goyle and Zabini out of the crowd of students because, for those of you that don't know, the actor that played Crabbe was in prison.
Yeah. For drugs? Was it drugs?
Maybe. But yeah, he was.
I feel like it wasn't something crazy serious. I think it's like drugs.
Yeah.
Harry. Also, Draco apparates in Hogwarts.
Oh, other Death Eaters and stuff have been apparating in. So I think because the enchantments are just down, then all's fair game, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah. So Harry runs to the room of requirement to find the diadem. Hermione and Ron see him on the map, but then he vanishes. And Ron's like, oh, remember, the room doesn't show up on the map. You said that last year. So there's this, Ron is basically having this like redemption arc in terms of he's really showing how well he can perform in a crisis. And Hermione is very pleasantly surprised by him being able to remember these things that she once said. So Harry walks deeper and deeper into the room of requirement and can hear that strange ringing tingling, buzzing sound.
Ring, ring, ring.
But in this,
Ring,
he
ring,
finds
ring.
ring, ring, telephone. Burp, 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 burp. Banana phone. So he ends up finding in the film, it's in a box. It's not on a bust, like covered in other stuff.
Right.
It's in a box. He hears the sound, so that's how he knows how to find it. Draco has come to Hogwarts looking for his wand, apparently. That's why he's here.
I mean,
And then he goes into this whole thing about doesn't really understand me, my mother's wand, blah 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 blah. And then Harry's like, Harry like does not respond to that at all. He's like, why didn't you tell Bellatrix it was me? You knew it was
weird
me.
because they're trying to also lay the groundwork of being like, hey, remember that wands
are a
feelings.
thing, everyone. Yeah.
Even though neither the book or the movies have ever focused on that as a real thing ever.
No, it's just this.
So we got to throw that in.
Yeah.
I'll say this about him looking for his wand. I like it as a motivation in the movie because she does not get. He just follows Harry in.
Yeah.
In the book, he's just like, well, I was just following you. Okay.
So Draco doesn't get a chance to answer the question about why he didn't tell, though, because Hermione and Ron show up, and Hermione attempts to Expelliarmus the wand, I think Draco's wand, to which Goyle responds by casting the killing curse at her. He like tries to Avada Kedavra her. So then Ron is very upset that he tried to do that. And he's like, hey, that's my girlfriend. And he runs after him in a rage. Harry and Hermione accidentally release some. Because Goyle casts the killing curse, this causes the diadem to fly off into a pile of furniture, which I was like, I don't really know if I needed that, but okay. Harry and Hermione accidentally release some pixies by accident when they're trying to climb the pile of furniture to get the diadem back. Thankfully, Harry manages to secure it. This was also something that Adam texted me. I'm glad the pixies got, what did you say? You were like, I'm glad the pixies got one last little
cameo
at the end there. Yeah, cameo, yeah. So then Ron comes back screaming because Goyle has set the place on fire. No one mentions fiend fire. So that's not
for the best. Honestly, for the best.
Draco grabs the they fix this as well with the Horcrux. Draco grabs Zabini and they start climbing to get away from the fire. They're also just climbing up piles of furniture. The trio flies above all of the flames on broomsticks that they managed to find. And then they end up going back to get Draco and Blaze because Goyle falls to his death into the flames that he himself started.
Yeah.
So
I think all of the CGI in this entire sequence looks bad. I think the only thing I like is like the animals in the fire. I think that looks good.
Yes,
the animals. The general fire itself looks bad. I think the lighting of the fire effect on the actors in the CGI scene looks bad. I think like they all look really flat. The fire looks completely not real when it's just like fire and not the like animals or whatever. I hate the brooms. I think the whole scene looks bad. I even think like the kid who plays Goyle, when he's like doing the fire out of his wand, like he looks like he's like he like does it so weirdly, and I think you're supposed to be like, oh, he doesn't know
how to stop it or whatever. Yeah.
But it's also like, but if he doesn't know what he's casting, then that's not how magic works from how we understand magic.
How we've been told. Like, yeah. Yeah. It's a no from me, dog. So they do safely make it out. Ron with Harry and Ron with Blaze. As soon as they make it out, Draco takes off. And Harry stabs the Horcrux with the basilisk fang before throwing it into the fire and closing the doors of the room of requirement. So I liked this better rather than Hermione just being like, oh yeah, it's fiend fire. I just never thought to use it because it's so dangerous. It's like, no, you don't get to conveniently throw that in. Use the basilisk fang. Thank you. That's much better. So Voldy once again feels the Horcrux be destroyed. And he's very affected by this. And the first person that tries to speak to him, I believe it's Pius Thickness, just immediately gets Avada Kedavra. Yes. He's like, dead.
Done. Don't talk to me.
And then because Voldemort keeps saying he needs to keep Nagini safe, Harry's like, it's the snake. She's got to be the last one. She'll be the last one.
Now, the unfortunate part of retconning that he can feel anytime his Horcrux goes is then wouldn't he know that they already got the ring?
So this is the thing. We're supposed to believe he can only feel them because there's less and less left. That's what we're supposed to believe.
Oh. Cool.
So Ron tells Harry to go into Voldemort's mind to find where he is so they can try to kill the snake. And then he does, and we get a vision of Lucius, who looks very rough.
He looks horrible.
Yeah, he's seen better days. He's meeting with Voldemort down by the castle docks, an area we've never seen before. It's really pretty, but I was like, cool. What is that supposed to be? Lucius tries to encourage Voldemort to let someone go look for Harry directly, like try and get him to come to them.
They gotta keep those first year boats somewhere, Ari.
Where were they though?
Great question.
There's also like one little dock, basically. So I'm like, you have all these boats. Lucius tries to encourage Voldemort. Oh no, sorry, I already read that. Voldemort slaps him and is like, how can you live with yourself? To which Lucius responds and is like, I don't know. I was like, oh, good Lord. And then Voldemort asks him to bring Severus to him.
Jason Isaac's agent was like, he needs lines or you're not getting him.
Give him something.
He has to have lines.
Yeah. And that is the end of my section and of part 1. And that is also the last time I'll ever be getting to do a deep dive into a Harry Potter film. So thank you very much, everyone, because you will never know how much this has meant to me to get to go through all of this.
And we're not following this up by watching the Fantastic Beasts movies. Sorry.
Oh, we are not watching. You cannot pay me to watch the Fantastic Beasts movies again.
Sure can't.
Never. Yeah, it's so crazy. Like when we were going through just the first one of these, it's just thinking back to the first film recap. I didn't even know I was doing it because Allie was like, well, you can do it if you want. And I was like, oh yeah, okay. I just like on the spot did it. But if you would have told me where I would be when we started this, like that I would be living in England, that Adam and RJ would be in Chicago. I mean, you were in Florida. Like, how different our lives are now. I mean, even from literally like when I first moved to the UK and like how like I was just in such a bad place. Like
if you had told me that my full-time job would be like watching K-pop videos, I would have laughed in your face.
Yeah. Yeah. I know, literally. Because when Adam came to see the short film, when we did the talk back, I was just like talking about how when I first moved here, like it was just such a dark like chapter of my life, and I was so frustrated that was the reality of what it ended up being like, because I was so like, I kind of imagined moving here would be one way and it ended up being so different. And even afterwards, Adam, you were like, I didn't even know, like, it was like that that you were having like that hard of a time. And I honestly think like, well, one, like masking, which I'm still trying to work on because I hear that a lot, that people will be like, oh, I didn't know it was like that bad. But like,
that's what Alan Rickman is doing in this movie. He's like masking as Snape. It's crazy.
But also like, I think like that's a part of it I am trying to work on that. Cause I'm like, I do think sometimes I don't want to, because I am a very like emotional person. So I don't want to make people uncomfortable with that. Cause there have been a lot of times where me being emotional makes people uncomfortable. But also I'm trying to remind myself that like, that's not my burden to bear. Like I need to just be myself or whatever. But I said to Adam, I was like, but I was so looking forward to the episodes of the podcast. So I didn't really want to like talk about the shit that was happening, because I just wanted to like, because I loved doing the podcast and it was so fun. So like, even then when what was that, book 5 we were on? Like when 5. I first, so like thinking back just to book 5,
heartwarming
if you would have told
book
me.
Too. Good
oh yeah, I know,
book.
yeah. Me and Harry were both going through it. Harry's going through it and I'm like, yeah, bitch, I get it. I hate the world too right now. But no, I mean, I think, it's like, it was just such a, it already was like a light in the darkness, but it really became that during the move, because there was so much of that move that was like, it was just so rough that we did not anticipate. And it was just such a shit time. And I was so grateful to have this podcast. So thank you all once again for following along, because this will be my last time recapping. So thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you, Adam, specifically Adam, for listening to me for how many hours now? Oh my God.
Well, that wraps up this half of the movie. Next week we'll be finishing Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 and
Part 2.
This show. Okay, we have a few comments from Spotify.
I have an Instagram DM as well.
Do you want to save that for yours? Because I don't think I have any new YouTube comments.
Oh, for that? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay. This first one comes from Alexandra. She says, I think Dumbledore wanted to leave breadcrumbs for Harry by leaving the Tales of Beedle the Bard to Hermione. It took Hermione, parentheses, Hermione Jean Granger, half of the book to figure out what the symbol of the Deathly Hallows was. If the book had been given to Ron or Harry, they never would have noticed. I also believe that Hermione was the least willing to believe in the fairy tale being real, her disbelief in prophecy in book 3, all of these being obstacles to Harry seeking Hallows. Also, my personal headcanon is that Dumbledore likes lemon drops because they were Ariana's favorite.
Yes, I remembered that. Now that you're saying that, I remember someone said that. Yeah. Sweet.
We have another comment from Caitlin on chapter 11, The Bribe. First off, 5 stars. Have you thought about doing character-specific episodes? The Office Ladies Rewatch podcast did episodes analyzing each of the show's main characters. I've read books about Dumbledore and Snape that were pretty interesting. We have not, and we won't.
Books about?
But that would be very interesting.
Fanfics about them?
I would have to assume either fanfics or like
books.
Not books, but like those trivia book things. Like I wonder if people have done those on like specific characters or something like that.
Yeah.
Alexandra's back in chapter 36, The Flaw in the Plan. She says, totally agree. None of this chapter made sense to me when I read it as a kid. I've just accepted the force-fed crazy backwards whoops Harry is the master of death how crazy narrative that she's trying to pull here in the last chapter. But I will say, upon my second ever reread last year, Creature had me bawling. I was so not ready for that. Oh my God, I can't believe this is the last chapter. 5 stars always.
Oh, thank you.
Francis also says 5 stars as always. I can't believe this was the last chapter. She really does try to cram a lot into it. Adam's Bellatrix Voldygasm was hilarious.
Yeah, that was an episode, yeah.
If you are looking for a fan fiction recommendation, I would say Harry Potter and the Methods of Rationality by Eliezer Yudkowsky. The core premise is that Aunt Petunia married a physics professor, so Harry is using the methods of rationality to understand magic from a scientific perspective. All the questions you have about how it works answered.
Wow.
People are smart. People are actually intelligent out here, and you clowns are listening to us two flops talk about this book series. People are writing physics about Harry Potter, and you're like, what does Adam have to say about Bellatrix moaning Voldy's name? Crazy. Elizabeth says 500 stars.
Wow.
And then follows it with saying, Twilight, Twilight, Twilight.
No,
I really think you guys would have the best time hating on those books. They are so perfect to love and hate.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Wynn left a comment on Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, directed by Alfonso Cuarón, Part 1.
Okay.
Agree, this is the best film in the franchise. Thank you, Wynn. You'll hear this years from now when you finish the series.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And then finally, Sammy says, I realize this is a late comment. Oh, okay. Realize this is a late comment, so this is in regards to the trio realizing Harry's cloak is the real one because the Death Eaters could not summon it. So, like, can we normally summon people's clothes off? Also, if you could normally summon a cloak off of someone, are we to assume that you can Accios people's clothing off whenever?
Just whenever you want?
Who knows?
Great question. We'll never know the answer.
Knows? Who knows? And you know what? I don't think I want to hear an answer from her. So maybe that's
I don't want to hear anything else
just
from
let
her.
It be.
She said enough. Just
she
stop
said
talking.
More than enough, quite frankly.
Mm-hmm.
Most of it not good. Thank you for writing in. We love hearing what you guys think. You can find the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you find your podcasts, as well as video versions on the Ampliverse YouTube channel and Spotify. As always, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe so we can get a perfect Newt score, 5 stars only, or else you'll have to be on the CGI team that works on this movie because I can't imagine they got a lot of sleep.
Have a conversation with Helena Ravenclaw. Where she
gets slapped by Voldemort. Aren't you ashamed of yourself, you little bitch?
Oh yeah, gets slapped by Voldemort. Yeah,
it's a very Dynasty moment. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at HBAnxious or YouTube at The Ampliverse. We are hosted on Spotify for podcasters, so thank you to them, and are a proud member of The Ampliverse. Check them out at Ampliverse.com. Thanks, Ari.
Thank you, Adam.
And as always, Knox.